Derek Smith, overeaten, no good.
The new NBA contract raises the salary cap so that the average player salary will double in the next 6 years. And veteran players will have more freedom to move between teams, possibly giving an edge to the richer teams. Teams make about half their income from ticket sales, and the Jazz play in the smallest arena in the NBA. That means if the Jazz want to sell more tickets, they first need more seats.
We've got to have an arena that holds 17,000 to 18,000 seats.
At least 4 locations are under consideration, including 106th South at I-15 in Sandy, 1 location in Murray, and the old Vitro tailing site at 33rd South in South Salt Lake. Salt Palace officials also want to consider areas around the present arena.
We would be able to use the same staff that we have in place in the way of accounting, security, building management.
Salt Lake County commissioners ask who would pay for a new arena. They're not sure they want a bond for it.
My theory is at one point today when I heard about David's remarks on TV is if I wanted to be held hostage, I could buy a ticket to Beirut, Lebanon.
This is not a threat. This is not, I'm not trying to hold anybody hostage. It's a fact of life that with the new collective bargaining agreement, we can't compete.
The Jazz say the issue needs to be settled soon. Such a facility takes years to plan and build. Dave Thompson, Eyewitness News, Salt Lake City.
Ruleware is a Jazz fan, but he's a businessman first, and he says he's not going to move his art store for anything.
I've been a strong supporter of a new Jazz arena, and so I hate to be in the position of saying I am going to fight it bitterly at this point because it would wipe out our business.
The Jazz say they need a new arena that seats at least 18,500. There are 2 proposed sites. Site A is west of the Salt Palace, and B is south. Last night, the Planning Commission voted 6-1 in favor of B.
They've looked at a lot of materials. They've had a chance to try to see really what balances the city out, and I think as a Planning Commission, they feel very comfortable with Site B.
Today, the people who own businesses on that block banded together to fight the decision. The city will have to condemn the property to build here.
There's a good chance this will go to court. Our main goal is to tie this up as long as we possibly can.
Jazz owner Larry Miller did not attend last night's meeting, but he's made it clear which site he likes.
Personally, I gravitate towards what's being called Site A, primarily because there's only 2 landowners there, and it appears that both of them are willing sellers.
The Salt Lake City Council will make a final decision on a site for the new Jazz Arena tomorrow night. Right now, they say both sites are well matched, but if property owners on Site B put on a good defense, they'll probably knock the ball out of their court. Allison Barlow, Eyewitness News, Salt Lake City.
As he unveiled the first model of the proposed arena, Jazz owner Larry Miller announced he'd break ground for the project in the middle of August. It's the middle of August now, and the arena site sits unchanged. Buildings still stand.
We are not telling those businesses they need to relocate until such time as we know Larry's got the money.
You heard right. Miller does not yet have the $50 million he needs. One Miller aide says financing has been approved from one lender, that it is imminent from a second. But privately, city officials say they're concerned.
Salt Lake's planning department was told by Miller to expect applications for demolition of property on the site and for a building permit here in this office sometime around the 1st of the month. Those applications have not been filed.
Planning Director Alan Johnson says he's simply waiting to approve the plans.
I'm not aware of any problems that would hold up our being ready to issue the demolition permit or the new building permit.
But the city needs the plans first, and most important, it needs to know Miller has the money. Until then, city options to even buy the arena property are on hold.
And we will not execute those options until such time as Larry is firm and we know that arena is going to be built.
Nobody is saying the project is dead or even dying. Miller said in the past that September is as late as he can begin construction and still get the Jazz playing in the new arena for the 1991 season. But the loose ends to the mega deal are still loose. Brian Malahi, Eyewitness News, Salt Lake City.
How did you handle it?
Basically, and it's probably not the kind of answer you're expecting, basically what I did is I quit reading the paper, quit watching the news and listening to the news, so I didn't hear as many of the naysayers.
And there have been naysayers since an announcement last September when Miller thought he'd secured financing with a Dutch bank, a deal that went dry just weeks later.
Even when we did the first deal before we had the goalpost moved, I felt like there had been enough deal points during the negotiation that had moved up that we still ran a risk of putting maximum pressure on the deal, that there was no margin for error.
Did the mayor's office call you, the county commission, the governor's office? Hey, what's going on?
They had, but not until pretty late in the process. I think kind of simultaneously everybody started thinking, is this thing going to happen? And if it doesn't, what are the alternatives for the Jazz?
But lately, Miller's been just as anxious. Less than 2 weeks ago, he planned to call the finance company officials to set a date whereby the deal would be on or be off.
Now, as it turned out, I got delayed from making that phone call, and it's probably good because it would have sounded too much like an ultimatum to him, which it was not intended to be.
Miller says with construction to begin in 11 days, the Jazz will be playing in the new arena in October 1991. He can picture it now.
About where you're standing, it's about
right
half
here.
It's been more than a year since Larry Miller first vowed to get money himself to build the 20,000-seat plus arena.
So that resolves the moral issue, if you will, in my opinion, of public money being invested in private buildings.
That ended years of speculation about public funding for the project, but that February announcement only marked the beginning of his troubles getting the financing. Miller tried for more than a year to find someone to underwrite this new home for the Jazz. In the meantime, the Salt Lake City Redevelopment Agency agreed to buy land for the arena and to issue $20 million in bonds to build a parking lot and plaza. But the new arena wasn't a done deal until 2 weeks ago. That's when Miller announced that finally he had the money in hand. A Tokyo bank had agreed to issue him a loan.
Stockton in transition to Malone.
The Jazz should be playing in the new arena a year from this fall. And once it's complete, thousands more fans will be able to see them play than can now squeeze into the Salt Palace. And Miller hopes those extra ticket sales will eventually pay for the new Jazz home. Utah Jazz owner Larry Miller finally got his turn with a shovel. For years, Miller promised this day would come, but many had doubts. Miller proved them wrong.
I'm experiencing some very strong feelings as I speak to you now. Feelings of happiness, feelings of relief, and feelings of great anticipation as we set out on this great adventure.
Miller got his adventure off to a lively start. He had skydivers, celebrities.
I know that song from someplace.
Even monster trucks.
Miller wants a new arena because Jazz fans are outgrowing the old one. The Salt Palace only holds 12,400, and Miller thinks the Jazz can draw another 8,000 if he could only find the seats to put them in.
Taxpayers refused to pay $66 million for a new arena, so Miller vowed to finance it. And 2 weeks ago, he found a Japanese investor.
When Larry Miller said he wanted to keep this team in Utah, he kept his word. All I want to say is Larry, I want to hear you say we're going to win the NBA championship. Thank you.
Listen, you stick to just winning elections, will you?
Now Miller just has to keep crowds like this coming back once the arena's completed in 1991. Elizabeth Renshaw, Eyewitness News, Salt Lake City.
We count the levels starting from the playing floor up. This is level 3.
2.5 years ago, Larry Miller admits he was a bit apprehensive about embarking on this huge project. Now he shows off Salt Lake's new Delta Center with pride.
But the last 3 or 4 weeks or so, the building, as it's come together and come near completion, has manifested itself in such a way as it really has become fun. It's started to take on a life and personality of its own, and some of the rewards are starting to come now, and it's exciting.
The Delta Center holds more than 20,000 people, some in green seats, some in these suites. And the kitchen is large enough to feed thousands. Outside, crews are planting hundreds of flowering trees and plants. So how much for all of this? Larry Miller says $93 million, give or take $1 million. But Miller says it's worth it because the Delta Center will boost Salt Lake's economy by luring more national conventions. It will also
attract a lot of events that up to now have bypassed Salt Lake because they didn't have what they consider to be a state-of-the-art venue.
This is part of what makes the Delta Center a state-of-the-art venue. The $2 million Jumbotron electronic scoreboard will give fans instant replay action at games, among other things. For some Utahns, the Delta Center may just be one of Salt Lake's newest buildings, but for Larry Miller, this is his dream come true. Jane Clayson, Eyewitness News, Salt Lake City.
Fireworks and fanfare started the first NBA season game in the Delta Center. A bouquet of roses and a standing ovation went to owners Larry and Gail Miller. But Jazz fans tonight also gave a little credit for this new facility to Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson and Larry Bird came out of college together, and it was from that time that basketball, the NBA, really took an explosion and became what it is today.
Word of Johnson's retirement spread like wildfire. The sellout crowd tonight had all heard the news.
I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. You know, they said when he was supposed to play here before, they said he had a virus and was sick. I guess he did have a virus.
I think it's really sad. Magic's always been one of my favorites, and I've always liked to come to the Jazz and when they're playing the Lakers and watch him. And he's got a great smile, and I just feel bad for the guy, and I wish him the best.
Fans say Johnson's ordeal will undoubtedly escalate AIDS awareness.
Makes it come home a lot more, I think, to just the everyday public and realize that I may not be all as immune from this as I would like to think I am.
The impact of Magic Johnson's retirement won't be fully felt here until the Jazz play the Lakers again, and there's no Magic on the court. Allison Barlow, Eyewitness News, the Delta Center.
Every month or so, several dozen custodial and maintenance people from around Utah come to see the Delta Center.
If you'd like, we'll just go down this hallway to the right. We'll go into the arena where the Jazz are practicing, and we'll talk a little bit about the arena.
A few weeks ago, this group from the Sevier and Iron County school districts came up. These are maintenance supervisors and others who are responsible for keeping large buildings and gymnasiums clean. For them, the Delta Center is the ultimate cleaning challenge, sort of the mecca of maintenance. Paul Condi is the custodial manager at the Delta Center, and he leads the tours.
We are one of the only professional arenas in the world that is designed specifically for basketball, and everything else adapts to it.
While the Jazz players work on drills for a game later in the evening, Condi explains that his staff is 140 people strong who can clean the 743,000 square foot building in just over 4 hours. He answers questions from his guests. They learn the Jumbotron weighs 31,000 pounds. They learn about the hockey ice underneath the wooden floor.
The ice rink underneath us is kept at a constant 17½ degrees. It takes approximately 12 hours to make ice.
They also learned about the railings, why they're tilted. Prevents you from setting your drink on it and spilling it on the people below you.
Very unfun to come to an event on there and have popcorn or Coke spilled down on your head from someone above you on there.
As they wander through the building, everyone learns there are 7 different locker rooms. They learn that the concrete is treated with a special seal so liquids won't penetrate. And they take a deep breath as they look down from the catwalk 136 feet above the floor.
Fantastic facility. I haven't seen anything like this ever. Never been anything that is this unique, and the design of it is spectacular.
Sooner or later, these maintenance people start talking about maintenance things. Number of restrooms, 100 by the way, types of cleaning solutions used, why this particular mop and bucket are good.
This mop bucket with the mop in it and 1 gallon of water weighs less than one of these orange mop handles over here with a large mop head on it that's wet on there. It eliminates a lot of fatigue in a building that has 800,000 square feet that need to be mopped on a daily basis.
Paul Condi stresses that cleanliness and safety go hand in hand at the Delta Center.
I think it kind of motivated me on the chemicals, on the corners, keep the corners clean, and I would like to see the high school students and parents and people see how nice this is and help us try to keep ours cleaner. I'm really impressed with how clean this place really is.
They saw it all in their 4-hour tour: the 13,000 cup holders, the 6-story garbage chute, which is attached to an automatic trash compactor, the locker rooms, and as they walked from one supply room to another, they even bumped into the mailman. Keith McCord, Eyewitness News, Salt Lake City.
Thank you.